The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, some of the lawmakers who told us their names were on the accused Minnesota shooter's kill list are speaking out. Just hours ago during a town hall meeting in Dexter, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell opened up about being targeted.
And this, Justice Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's team confirmed that she too was on that list. Fox 2's Dave Kitchen has the story.
I am very concerned, and we all are, about how we are normalizing violence.
Congresswoman Debbie Dingell beginning a town hall meeting in Dexter by reacting to news she's one of several Michigan lawmakers on the kill list belonging to the accused assassin of former Minnesota State House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband. The accused shooter, Vance Boelter, also suspected of seriously wounding a state senator and his wife, both shot multiple times according to investigators. Security at Dingell's event extra tight in the aftermath. Can you talk about getting that call and what the investigators said to you?
I mean, they called and said the FBI that my name had been on the list. But look, I'm going to keep fighting for the people that I represent.
Dingell was set to talk about the Trump administration's proposed cuts to several entitlement programs and higher education when she got the news about being on the suspect's kill list. Several state police officers and Washtenaw County Sheriff's deputies were on hand running free security checkpoints for town hall attendees to move through.
My chief, I've got a great chief, and the sheriff from here both said to me, you just got to be a little more careful.
We at the sheriff's office work closely with our local law enforcement partners, as well as if needed for security reasons, we would reach out to our state partners as well.
Another name on that list now confirmed is that of Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, who got the disturbing call from Colonel Grady, director of the state police.
I was not necessarily surprised, although my heart sank to get the call.
Despite the news, the secretary says she's not backing down from the job she was elected to do.
From the moment almost 5 years ago now, 4.5 years ago, when armed protesters showed up outside my home, that was the most harrowing moment because it was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like that. Since then, I've dealt with swatting attacks, false bomb threats called to my home, and a number of other harrowing moments.
We can also confirm tonight that security is being ramped up for state lawmakers in Lansing. Several sources confirming that they are getting multiple updates on the security situation. In Dexter, Dave Kitchen on The Edge.
Well, we can look forward to another warm day ahead tomorrow, but storm chances looming for Wednesday.
And pretty soon it's going to get downright hot. Weather authority Rich Luderman has a look ahead. Hey, Rich.
That's all true, Roop and Taryn. I want to show you some running numbers. Since January 1st at Metro Airport, this is rain and melted snow. We've had about 12.5 inches of water. Normal, we should be at 15.5, so we're about 20% down from where we should be in terms of rain and melted snow. And yes, we do have some rain chances, especially Wednesday. Could be in the form of some stronger storms, and I'll show you why. Our next storm system is out here over the western Great Lakes, and that's slowly coming in our direction. It was beautiful out there today with sun and clouds, a light breeze, low humidity. You can see a couple of showers did try to get going close to Toledo, certainly a few showers south of Chicago, and a few showers right now in the western part of Wisconsin. How about the daytime highs? We made it to 81. There's 82 in Traverse City, 84 Benton Harbor, even way up there in the tip of the thumb, Bad Axe, 83 degrees. It was a perfect late spring day. Remember, we're not yet into summer. That'll happen Friday evening. The summer solstice is Friday evening. That is the official start. 81 and 60, the high and low for today. 71 right now in Howe, 66 Ann Arbor, 68 down there in Windsor. You can see the wind is very light from the south and east. Pretty mild around Chicago at 75, 74 in Cincy. More comfortable there in Marquette, 68 degrees. So watch our next weather maker. First piece of energy passes to our north, and then here comes a stronger piece of energy. This is Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and you can see some of those bigger storms in central and western Michigan. Some of this action may come our way late Wednesday evening, and it could pack a punch with gusty winds. For the rest of tonight, it is all quiet out there. Very mild, down to 65. Tomorrow's another good-looking day. Sun and clouds, warm and more humid for your Tuesday, 86. Right there is the 7-day forecast. How about that heat coming for the end of the weekend? We could likely be in the 90s. Remember, always get the latest forecast. Check it out. The Fox 2 Weather app, you can download it for free in the App Store or in Google Play. Roop, Taryn, back to you.
All right, thanks, Rich. Well, we're learning more about the suspect accused of a shooting threat against Rockwood police.
He's now behind bars, but tonight Fox 2 is hearing from that man's mother, who says her son has been struggling with mental illness. Here's Fox 2's Lauren Edwards.
I feel like I lost my son. And then one of the charges carries up to life in prison. He's only 18. He just started his life.
Stephanie Stacy missing her son, 18-year-old Jason Stacy, who was once in her arms but is now behind bars.
He's never been in trouble. He doesn't get in fights. He doesn't get in arguments. I'm sure he's scared. He doesn't know what's going on.
Because she says he's living with schizophrenia.
He hears voices. He has delusional thoughts. He gets really paranoid, thinks people are out to get him.
She says he was diagnosed over a year ago and was taking medication and getting injections to treat the condition. However, unbeknownst to her, things changed.
He did tell me he was not taking it for about 10 days, and then I guess he called the police and was allegedly saying he was going to shoot them up, and I didn't know anything about it.
Rockwood police say last Wednesday morning they received several voicemails threatening to shoot up the station, so they immediately closed city offices for the day and launched an investigation. By nighttime, he was in handcuffs. Stephanie was shocked.
He's a good kid. He's just finished school. He was starting work. He got his own apartment. He's living with his grandpa. He's helping take care of him.
He's been arraigned on several felony charges. During his arraignment, police say Jason told them he doesn't know why he called Rockwood PD. Stephanie agrees, and it was not in retaliation for Rockford police pulling over 18-year-old immigrant Meiko Bogoya Duarte, who's now facing deportation. She says her son is suffering and hopes others will understand just how serious schizophrenia and all mental illnesses are.
Mental health is hard to live with, and especially with such a stigma. To take medications to think normal, it doesn't feel fair. It just doesn't seem right.
She says that he is facing lengthy time, but her focus right now is making sure that he takes his medication daily. Reporting here in Rockwood, Lauren Edwards, On the Edge.
Make sure we're having a party, not a funeral. And guess what? You can't be the murderer and the pallbearer. You gotta take your pick.
An unknown suspect remains on the run after opening fire at an illegal block party on Detroit's west side, wounding 2 teen girls. It happened overnight Sunday on Coyle Street. This time last year, a block party on Rossini ended with 2 people killed and 19 others hurt. Now, Detroit police are cracking down on the parties by enforcing curfew for minors.
Tragedy on the Clinton River as a toddler dies after wandering into the water here. The tragedy unfolding in Harrison Township. Macomb County deputies started searching for the 2-year-old boy around 11 this morning and found him about 30 minutes later. They tried to save his life as they rushed to the hospital, but he died a short time later.
Obviously, in this situation, the family is distraught. Our hearts go out to the family and friends of the 2-year-old child. Our officers are behind this wall here. You know, they're all pretty saddened. You know, no one wanted to come to work today to deal with this type of situation.
Deputies say the toddler wandered off from his home and they do not suspect foul play.
Horrific details revealed in court today after a deadly stabbing in Waterford. 25-year-old Seth Thomas Martin was formally charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of his fiancee. Prosecutors say on Friday night, Martin stabbed 33-year-old Mallory Myers 5 to 10 times while they were in bed. Authorities say Martin told them he fantasized about killing someone close to him.
After the last time he stabbed Mallory, she started asking him to call an ambulance. Detective Mall asked Seth what Mallory said, and Seth stated, "Baby, baby, baby, I'm dying. Baby, I'm dying, call the cops." Seth also stated that he started thinking about killing Mallory early on in the relationship, and that whenever he thought about killing, he thought about doing it with a knife.
Officers say Martin came out of the house when police arrived and surrendered peacefully. He was denied bond and is scheduled to be back in court next week. Also in court today, the CEO of the Oxford Center accused in a child's death following a hyperbaric chamber explosion.
The issue for a judge in Troy is what evidence can be used in the murder trial. Here's Fox 2's Charlie Langton.
January 31st. 25-year-old Thomas Cooper getting treatment in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber at the Oxford Center in Troy. But it blows up and kills the boy and seriously injures his mother. Troy police investigate and through a search warrant obtain documents belonging to the owner, Tamala Peterson. On Monday, though, Peterson's lawyer says that the information is privileged and therefore should not be reviewed by the Attorney General.
The Troy Police Department was notified on February 5th that the items that they seized contained potentially privileged communications between Ms. Peterson and her attorneys.
At issue is a search warrant in which the Troy police took Peterson's laptops and cell phones and looked at them.
So I think it's clear that in the state of Michigan, this kind of process can go forward without, trampling the defendant's rights.
The Attorney General, who is prosecuting the case, says they have a process to review possible privileged material. Yet Peterson's lawyer says the judge should be making the calls.
That's why we have courts, to make these calls as to what's privileged and not the prosecutor.
Now, we still don't know what's inside these documents, but the judge ruled that there will be an independent body review the documents and then give the findings to both sides. If they can agree on what's privileged, great. If not, the judge will decide.
It seems as though the attorneys are before the court because they are genuinely wanting the correct outcome for a procedure here that will protect her rights.
There could be more issues with the judge. The judge will ultimately have to make a decision whether or not there's enough evidence to have a trial. In Troy, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
Well, the movers and shakers and policymakers of Detroit facing off for a mayoral debate tonight.
The event, moderated by an anchor at Channel 4, Jason Coulthard, kicked off at Wayne State University. 4 of the 9 mayoral candidates, James Craig, Santil Jenkins, Solomon Kinlock Jr., and Mary Sheffield, took the stage, all sharing their opinions on business relationships, city taxes, education, unemployment, and affordable housing.
I've always made it a mission for myself to ensure that we're reaching people where they are. And so all of the work that I do, we ensure that we put on social media platforms to make sure people get the message and the impact and the policies that we're passing day to day at the City Council.
The first 100 days of my administration, I will convene a table, making sure that we have resonance, making sure that they're not an afterthought, that they're the first thought, that their needs and wants and desires are taken into consideration.
Legislative experience helps because I understand how laws work. I understand what laws we'll need to draft to move our city forward.
Frankly, I'm still loved by this city. When I have one-on-one conversation with folks, they say, look, honestly, you're a great chief, and I'm going to vote for you because I respect you, and it comes down to that.
In alphabetical order, James.
Detroit's primary election just 2 months away. The general election is set for November 4th.